statement, and she was right to look at what we can do on a UK-wide approach, and I'll be focusing today on what we can do here in Scotland right now. Because Scotland's vaccination scheme has already delivered a booster to more than half of all over 18-year-olds. That's down to everyone in our NHS, our armed forces and all our volunteers. And I want to thank you for making that happen. To vaccinate far more people to get ahead in this race against the new variant.
Ross, leader of the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party. I was proud to sign this letter alongside my fellow political leaders only a month after I became Scottish Conservative leader last year. And I want to thank everyone who took up that call and for their participation in this climate assembly. Now, it's inevitable that political parties will take different views on the Climate Assembly's recommendations. That's the nature of politics. However, there can be no doubt that the climate emergency is one of the biggest challenges facing our generation.
Palmer, with all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
The Assembly has been an invaluable exercise in finding out what the people we represent want us to do in tackling climate change. We all have a responsibility to tackle this urgently, and we must not shy away from that responsibility. So thank you again to those who looked at this letter from Scotland's political leaders and decided to get involved.
And your work is so crucial. We are facing a climate emergency, and I think it's so important that as we emerge from COVID, that we don't go back to the old arguments. Instead, we focus on what unites us, not what divides us, and we've got to unite behind a climate justice plan.
Look, what the fuck is this?
All have a duty to protect each other and do what is in the best interests of our country and our NHS. So can I urge the people of Scotland, do your duty. If you are eligible for a first or second dose but have not yet had it, please book that appointment now.
Testing is what's more important, because even if you have the vaccine, you can still spread the virus and you can still get the virus. So make sure people are negative going into events is probably a much more interesting thing to explore, a more crucial thing to explore rather than vaccine pass. Even if you have the vaccine, you can still spread the virus and you can still get the virus. You can still get the virus. You can still spread the virus. Even if you have the vaccine, you can still spread the virus and you can still get the virus.
Can I urge the people of Scotland, do your duty. If you are eligible for a first or second dose, do your duty. All have a duty to protect each other and do what is in the best interests of our country and our NHS. Do your duty. If you are eligible for a first or second
have the vaccine, you can still spread the virus and you can still get the virus.
Okay. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
What did we learn, Palmer?
I don't know, sir.
I don't fucking know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
For those eligible for a booster appointment, book it as soon as you can.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Case of booster vaccines. Our vaccination program, the most vaccinated part of the UK, of the over 12 population, have had booster jags. Just as vaccines started to win this race, the virus learned to run faster. We must deliver boosters. We need a booster jag into arms much faster. Getting fully vaccinated is the best thing any of us can do to protect ourselves. We need a booster jag. Book your booster jag. Speeding up vaccination is essential. Speeding up vaccination, do get our boosters. Boosters, if you focus of my statement today is on boosters, it is more important than ever to do so. And I hope, very much hope, that we might also soon get regulatory approval to offer vaccination to under 12s. Do follow the advice I have set out today. And while this is without doubt a very difficult juncture in the course of the pandemic, please remember that vaccination does still put us in a better position than last year. Please get fully vaccinated. So please get vaccinated faster than even the fastest rollout of vaccines. The immune protection is not immediate. Speed up vaccines. Once again, the duty to protect the NHS, lives and livelihoods must be uppermost in our minds, and it must drive our actions. The vaccination programme continues apace. I've had a first dose, 203 have had 2 doses, a booster or a third dose of vaccine. On first, second, third and booster doses, Scotland is still the most vaccinated part of the UK on booster doses. On first, second, third and booster doses, the over 12 population having had a booster jag and delivering the vaccine. Slightly less effective does not mean ineffective. Less effective does not mean ineffective. You're less effective does not mean ineffective. You're less effective does not mean ineffective. Less effective does not mean ineffective. We don't know that yet. We don't know yet if it is still going to be the case that vaccines have a high degree of effectiveness and you will be more protected and you will protect others more if you are vaccinated. Less effective does not mean ineffective. Getting vaccinated will still matter. You're truly doing heroic work right now to get boosters, jags into people's arms as quickly as possible. Boosters into arms much faster. The success of the vaccination programme, vaccine booster campaign. 1 million booster jags into people's arms. How important it is to get vaccinated. What we can all do to protect ourselves and each other. So firstly, please do get vaccinated if you're eligible and haven't yet done so. The vaccination programme is going extremely well. Whatever we decide to do, Douglas Ross will probably oppose it. So when we introduced a vaccination programme for younger teenagers that wasn't principally school-based, that was criticised, but then it turned out we managed to vaccinate those younger teenagers quicker than any other part of the UK. Across every single dose of this vaccine right now, Scotland is the most vaccinated part of the UK.
Thank you for making that happen.
Conclusion of a negative test. This is a finely balanced judgment. When we have take a decision to introduce a scheme with the express objective of using that, at least in part, to drive up vaccination rates, it makes no sense to have an alternative to vaccine initially as part of that scheme, because then we wouldn't have seen there is perhaps an argument here that one of the reasons why we are currently the most vaccinated part of the UK is that, at least in part, our vaccine certification scheme has helped to drive vaccine uptake.
Wait a minute. What?
Government, there are no easy options, particularly in the face of a global pandemic. Again, I'm hugely grateful to everyone helping get jags into people's arms as quickly as possible. And I also want to take this opportunity again to urge every single person who is eligible for vaccination, whether for a first or second jab or a booster or third jag, to please take up the offer without delay and get the flu jag too if you are eligible. Presiding Officer, in my view, choosing without good reason not to be vaccinated is deeply irresponsible. Getting vaccinated, on the other hand, is a civic duty, and it is the most precious gift we can give to others at this time. Getting vaccinated will still matter. Less effective does not mean ineffective. You will still be much more protected with vaccines than you will be without. For goodness sake, get vaccinated with your first, second and, if eligible, your third and booster doses as soon as you can. Being vaccinated is the most precious gift we can give this Christmas.
What the fuck is this? Huh? Let's be honest.
Okay.
Let us be fucking honest.
Duty, and it is the most precious gift we can give to others.
I have a drinking problem.